The Russian Defense Ministry has said that the US drone, which crashed into the Black Sea, was heading towards the Russian border. Russia also claims that its fighter jets did not come in contact with the drone. Meanwhile, the US has said that Russian jets violated international law and behaved in a dangerous and reckless manner. This was the first such incident between Russia and the US since the Ukraine war began last February. UK's Chancellor of the Exchequer, Jeremy Hunt, is delivering the budget in the House of Commons. He said that the UK economy will shrink by 0.2% this year, but is set to avoid recession. He said inflation is likely to fall from 10.7% last year to 2.9% by the end of this year. Among the proposed policies, free childcare of 30 hours a week is likely to be expanded to cover 1- and 2-year-olds. This will be for working parents. The US and South Korea staged joint military drills. Troops of the two countries practiced building bridges to ferry armored vehicles and military equipment across a river. About 400 soldiers participated. The two countries say that the joint drills are necessary to deter North Korea. The drills come days after North Korea test-fired 2 strategic cruise missiles from a submarine. North Korea has fired several short-range missiles into the sea off its east coast. According to the state news agency, the latest launches aim to train troops to carry out their mission at any time and annihilate the enemy if necessary. This comes as US and South Korea stage their biggest joint military drills in 5 years. Last week, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ordered the military to expand combat drills and prepare for war. Security forces in Pakistan are withdrawing from former Prime Minister Imran Khan's residence. This has put a halt to clashes that had erupted between the police and Imran Khan supporters. Earlier, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party claimed the police and elite rangers were openly firing outside Khan's residence. Police had come to arrest Khan in the Tosha Khana gift case. The PTI had earlier said that the real intent of the police was to abduct and assassinate Imran Khan. The Central American country of Honduras will establish diplomatic relations with mainland China. The country has not clarified whether it will sever its long-standing ties with Taiwan. But this is expected to happen due to Beijing's One China policy. The move comes after Honduras announced it's negotiating a hydroelectric dam deal with China. China will finance the dam. The foreign minister of Honduras said that the dam will help the country boost its energy supplies. Meanwhile, Taiwan has warned Honduras not to fall into China's trap. Protests against a proposed judicial overhaul continue in Israel. People demonstrated outside the house of a Knesset member. His supporters arrived at the scene and threw eggs and fireworks at the protesters. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims that his judicial overhaul will restore balance between the branches of government. However, opinion polls show that his plan is unpopular and Israelis prefer a compromise. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad arrived in Moscow. This is his first visit outside the Middle East since devastating earthquakes hit Syria last month. He was greeted by the Russian Deputy Foreign Minister. Al-Assad will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two leaders will discuss cooperation in political, trade, and humanitarian areas. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is in the South Pacific island country of Fiji. He met his Fijian counterpart to discuss regional security. The meeting comes a day after Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, the countries that form AUKUS, unveiled a nuclear submarine deal. Australia and Fiji are part of a nuclear-free zone treaty. The South Pacific is a region where the sensitivity over nuclear weapons is very high. Former US President Donald Trump is campaigning across the US state of Iowa for his 2024 presidential bid. Trump said that he's the only candidate who can prevent World War III. He claimed that if he becomes president in 2024, the Russia-Ukraine conflict will be settled within 24 hours. Trump criticized the Biden administration, saying, and I quote, "They act tough when they should be nice. They act nice when they should act tough. They don't know what the hell they're doing." An activist in Poland has been found guilty of supplying a pregnant woman with abortion pills. This is Poland's first such case. Poland has Europe's most restrictive abortion laws. All forms of abortions are banned in the country. The only exceptions include pregnancy caused by rape and incest. Abortion is also allowed if the mother's life is at risk. Parts of southern Turkiye are facing floods caused by torrential rains. 4 people have died. 2 firefighters have gone missing in an affected province. Vehicles are stranded in floodwaters. This latest disaster comes about 6 weeks after the country faced devastating earthquakes where nearly 55,000 people were killed. Northeastern Chile has been hit by heavy rains. Brown water has been seen running down streets. Heavy rains and flash floods caused power outages. Chile also faced flash floods in February this year. Dozens of families were isolated. Emergency plans had to be put in place in order to take control of the situation. Officials in California are monitoring roads, highways, and bridges for any damage caused by floods. The state has been witnessing a series of atmospheric river storms. Floodwaters from the Pajaro River spilled onto farmlands. This is after a levee broke over the weekend. A levee is a wall built beside a river that prevents flooding. Northeastern states in the US, including New York, Vermont, and Massachusetts, are witnessing the effects of winter storms. As many as 267,000 homes and businesses were left without power. New York's governor declared a state of emergency for 37 counties. Peru's president has issued a red alert for the capital Lima and surrounding areas. This comes after the devastation caused by Cyclone Yaku. It has unleashed torrential rains on the country. Nearly 60 people have lost their lives since the rainy season started. Authorities expect Cyclone Yaku to leave Peruvian territory over the next few days. The South American country of Uruguay is witnessing a severe drought. Its Canelon Grande reservoir has dried up. The purpose of this reservoir is to supply drinking water to metropolitan areas. Its water is also used in irrigation systems in the area. The drought situation is worsening due to the lack of rainfall in several parts of the country. Wildfires burned through the Cuban province of Holguin. This is the same area where fire destroyed 2,000 hectares of forest and crops in February. Almost 200 government and forestry workers have been mobilized to prevent the fire from reaching the Sierra Cristal National Park. The intensity of extreme drought and rainfall have sharply increased over the past 20 years. This is according to a new study. It says that the weather events are leading to crop failure, infrastructure damage, and humanitarian crises. According to researchers, both the frequency and intensity of rainfall and droughts are increasing. This is due to the burning of fossil fuels and other human activities that release greenhouse gases. Nike will stop using kangaroo leather for its shoes in 2023. The practice has been criticized by consumers and animal rights activists. The announcement comes weeks after its rival Puma took a similar step. The growing generation of environmentally conscious shoppers have been pressing for sustainability from clothing companies. Several luxury brands, including Gucci and Prada, have ditched the use of animal fur. The Silicon Valley Bank's collapse is under investigation from the US Justice Department and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Investigations are currently in their preliminary stages. According to media reports, this may not lead to charges or allegations of wrongdoing yet. Stock sales made by SVB's executives in the run-up to the bank's collapse are also being probed. China's TickTock is considering separating from parent company ByteDance. The news comes as TickTock is helping address US concerns about national security risks. The last resort move could result in a sale or an initial public offering. TickTock has spent more than $1.5 billion on data security efforts. Artificial intelligence research lab OpenAI has released GPT-4. OpenAI claims that the new version is more creative and less likely to make up facts. According to the company, the new version is also less biased than its predecessor. GPT-4 can accept both images and text inputs. This allows users to ask questions about pictures as well. AlphabetBacked and Tropics has released a language model to compete with Microsoft-backed rival OpenAI's ChatGPT. Anthropic's model is known as Claude. It's built to carry out similar tasks to ChatGPT. Claude responds to prompts with human-like text output. From editing legal contracts to writing computer codes, Claude will be able to do it all. Tech companies and Wall Street firms are leading job cuts in corporate America. This is according to a new report. Global central banks are hiking interest rates to counter inflation. This is weighing heavily on both consumer and corporate spending. As a result, between January and February this year, layoffs by US tech and Wall Street companies have touched the highest levels since 2009. Meta is planning to do away with NFTs on Facebook and Instagram. Meta tweeted, "We're winding down digital collectibles for now to focus on other ways to support creators." Meta's revenues have dwindled in the last 12 months. The tech giant has also been forced to lay off thousands of employees globally. The first images of the new Google Pixel 7a were leaked online barely a few days ago. Now, several more images of the yet-to-be-released phone have surfaced on the web. The phone is expected to be launched at Google's annual developer conference. The conference is scheduled to take place on May 10th. The leaked images reveal an identical design to its predecessor, the Google Pixel 7. Media reports indicate Apple is working on adding new features to its Airpods. Apple technology experts have hinted at new sensors in the headphones to track a user's health. These new sensors could be added by 2025. Apple has reportedly been working on health monitoring sensors for Airpods since 2016. Nigeria launched a $672 million fund to support startups. The fund is set to cater to tech and creative sectors. It will support people between the ages of 15 and 35. The fund has been launched under the Digital and Creative Enterprises Program. Nigeria has the largest number of tech and fintech startups in Africa. At first glance, South Korean band Maeve looks like any other idolized K-pop band. But interestingly, this band only exists virtually. Its 4 members, Sue, Zena, Tyra, and Marty, live in the metaverse. Their songs, dances, interviews, and even their hairstyles are created by web designers and artificial intelligence. The band's almost human-like avatars are providing an early glimpse of how the metaverse is likely to evolve. Cristiano Ronaldo was shown a yellow card during Al Nassr's King Cup quarter-final win over Abha. This was after he picked up the ball and punted it downfield after the referee had blown for half-time. The Portuguese star was visibly annoyed that a potential counter-attack had been stopped short. Ronaldo's team was leading 2-0 at half-time. They went on to win the game 3-1. Erling Haaland scored 5 goals as Manchester City destroyed RB Leipzig 7-0 in a Champions League match. The Norwegian striker has also broken City's record for the most goals scored in a season. He scored 39 goals in the 2023 season so far. At just 22, Haaland now has 33 Champions League goals in 25 appearances. Man City have now reached the Champions League quarterfinals for the 6th consecutive season. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is clinging to the tiniest chance of reaching the Champions League quarterfinals this year. Klopp's side is looking to overturn a 5-2 deficit against reigning champions Real Madrid. The manager had earlier said it's over after the Spanish champions' first leg victory at Anfield. Italian football club Internazionale has reached the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time since 2011. A goalless draw in Porto secured Inter's progression. Meanwhile, Napoli could make it 3 Serie A clubs in the last 8 for the first time since 2006 later tonight. The Serie A leaders hold a 2-0 lead over Eintracht Frankfurt from the first leg. FIFA has confirmed that the 2026 World Cup will be expanded. It will feature 48 teams and a total of 104 matches. This is up from 32 teams and 64 matches in the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The tournament is set to take place in the US, Canada and Mexico. England have suffered their first T20 whitewash since 2016 after being defeated by Bangladesh. Bangladesh edged past England by 16 runs to win the T20 match at the Shere-Bangla National Cricket Stadium. With the historic whitewash, hosts Bangladesh have won the series 3-0. Bangladesh's Najmul Hossain Shonto was declared the man of the series. Lewis Hamilton has said that Mercedes' 2023 performance won't determine his F1 future. He shut down suggestions that a potential new contract with Mercedes hinges on the team's level of performance. Hamilton is in the final year of his latest Mercedes deal. He further clarified that there is no hold-up with the contract and that he has always been very relaxed. French President Emmanuel Macron has launched the 500-day countdown to the 2024 Paris Olympics and Paralympics. Macron addressed hundreds of officials at a speech of thanks in the Paris police headquarters. He said nothing should be taken for granted, though plans are advancing. Macron also thanked the 45,000 volunteers mobilizing to make the Games a success. The Paris 2024 Olympics will be held between July 26th and August 11th. In tennis, British number 1 Cameron Norrie has reached the Indian Wells quarterfinals. Norrie picked up a straight set victory over Russian Andrei Rublev. Despite having issues with his serve early on, Norrie converted all 5 breakpoints to claim a 6-2, 6-4 win in California. The pair last faced one another in the last 16 of the 2022 US Open, where Rublev had won. Golf's governing bodies have proposed a new local rule. The proposed new rule will give tournament organizers the option to use a distance-reducing ball. Advances in fitness and equipment technology have led to players hitting the ball further and further in recent years. This had led to courses being lengthened in an effort to test the world's best. Director Quentin Tarantino is set to make his final film. Titled The Movie Critic, the film is based on an original script. The story focuses on a famous female film critic of the 70s. Shooting for the film is likely to begin this fall. Tarantino last directed the 2019 hit film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield are in talks for a romantic film. The Oscar-nominated actors plan to play leads in We Live in Time. John Crowley will direct the film, and the script will be written by Nick Payne. Actor Drew Barrymore will host the 2023 MTV Movie and TV Awards. The awards will be aired live on May 8th from the Barker Hangar in Los Angeles. The ceremony will be telecast live in 150 countries. Dev Patel is set to star in Miramax Television's The Key Man. It's adapted from the best-selling novel of the same name. Patel will play disgraced Pakistani financier Arif Naqvi. He will also be an executive producer for the limited series. Miramax Television roped in the Indian-origin British actor to ramp up its international content. Warner Brothers Studio Tour Tokyo, The Making of Harry Potter, will open on June 16th. This will be at an amusement park in Nerima, Japan. Exclusive sets, experiences and costumes are to be on display. The tour is expected to take around 4 hours. This will make it the largest indoor Harry Potter attraction in the world. It's also the first Warner Brothers Studio Tour to open in Asia. Ticket sales will begin on March 22nd. Author J.K. Rowling says she has no regrets for her comments on transgender rights that she made in 2020. Rowling says that a ton of Potter fans were grateful for her comments. Her views came out in the latest episode of her podcast, The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling.
Why did he get caught? He did something.
Harvey Weinstein will not face trial for 3 remaining cases. The convicted sex offender is serving a combined sentence of 39 years. The 70-year-old begged for leniency in a Los Angeles court. Weinstein is searching for a new legal team to appeal his rape convictions. Actor Lindsay Lohan is pregnant with her first child. The 36-year-old announced it in an Instagram post. It featured a baby onesie with the words "coming soon." Lohan got married last year and currently resides in Dubai. Netflix shuts down director Nancy Meyers' new film. Budget issues have been cited over the decision. Myers demanded $150 million, but Netflix capped it at $130 million. Had it been permitted, the budget would have made it the most expensive rom-com in Hollywood. Scarlett Johansson, Penelope Cruz, Michael Fassbender, and Owen Wilson were eyeing major roles. Netflix announces a documentary on Indian rapper Yo-Yo Honey Singh. The streaming giant shared the news with a teaser. The teaser launch comes on Singh's 40th birthday. Singh can be seen rapping about his life. The documentary will be directed by Moses Singh and produced by Oscar winner Guneet Munga.
मत बोलना अब हनी बीमार है मेरी डॉक्यूमेंट्री तैयार है होंगी कुछ ट्रिक्स coming soon on Netflix.
Mismanaged vaccination drive, broken healthcare systems, citizens taking matters into their own hands. India's failure in managing the COVID-19 crisis is staggering.
Want stories but without the West spin on it? Presenting Vantage with me, Palki Sharma, a first-of-its-kind global show with an Indian perspective.
Reckless and unprofessional manner. This incident demonstrates a lack of confidence.